So, next recording, still workplace Ninja Belgium. My name is Frans Oudendorp and I'm co-hosted by
Peter Helmand.
Still running strong.
Exactly.
And we have another few people on the table, new speakers that have presented. Yeah, I think it's have presented on today. We have Joeri and we have Jon. Welcome.
Hey, nice being here.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us.
Nice. And to start off, Joeri, who are you?
Well, I'm actually an IT guy working for 25 years in the industry, always workplace, and I try to be as modern as possible.
As modern as possible. That sounds good. And Jon, how's that for you?
Yeah, kind of the same. Maybe not as long, but I'm a Microsoft MVP on Intune and Windows 365, and that's generally what my day-to-day job is as well.
Nice. And if we look at Workplace Ninja Belgium, you guys have both had sessions on Windows 365, AVD, DevBox is something that I saw. What was your session about, Joeri?
Well, what you see lately is that more and more, let's say, desktop workload is going to the cloud. Lately means already a couple of years. Well, it started with AVD, Azure Virtual Desktop, that was actually bringing remote desktop services, which is an on-premises solution, to the cloud. So AVD was already a success, in my opinion. So we saw a lot of workload going to the cloud. So Microsoft also saw that, and they wanted to bring actually that service level to the next level. So that's why they brought actually Windows 365 on the market, which is a real SaaS solution. So more control also for Microsoft, which I don't mind, because they have proved that they can deliver stable and reliable data centers. So it makes sense in one way, so to SaaS as much as possible, and we see that also, as Jon will probably explain, in the AI agent stuff. Standardization, simplicity, compliance is all important, and by running workload in the cloud, we can all guarantee that. By the way, DevBox is a maintenance mode. That's another way of saying that the product is not further developed and should be replaced by Windows 365.
But it's for Windows 365 is also manageability, right? It's just another Windows device. It doesn't really matter if it's a physical device or a cloud PC. It's just the same management plane, Microsoft Intune. It's really easy to configure. It's a couple of clicks and you have Windows 365 up and running. For AVD, you need to have a lot more skills and different skills to set it up, right?
True. That's exactly what you say. It's a real SaaS solution, while AVD is more like in between IaaS and PaaS. That's correct. And you need more knowledge how to set it up. If you have the right guys, the right consultancy on board, that doesn't mean that it needs to be a disadvantage. But again, Windows 365 is in a winning area at the moment for different reasons. The AI stuff, but also as a platform for developers, which has also been announced this week at Build 2026, where they focus at AI and they focus at developers on Windows 365.
Oh, cool.
So my main message to the company that I work for at the moment, I was messaging, you need to use DevBox for the developers, but that message should be returned.
Exactly. You should tell them to move over to Windows 365. You can continue, customers who are already working on DevBox can continue to do it. That's why they say it's a maintenance mode, but you should shift as soon as possible to Windows 365. Yeah.
And if you look at the session that you have done, what was the main message to the audience?
Well, I started actually my first slide with a key takeaway. Most of the time that's at the end of the presentation, but I start with it so that everybody kept it in their head. And that's the KISS principle. So I see too often at customers that they are making it very complex. I always say keep it simple and straightforward. That's the number one lesson and thing you have to put in your mind. Keep things simple and only introduce complexity when it's really required.
And is that for Windows 365 is much more easier than for AVD?
That's indeed the guys at Microsoft put the KISS principle high on their priority list. It's as simple as it can be. It's a SaaS solution, so I like the simplicity of it, and that's what it's all about.
And how is that, John, to put AI into Windows 365?
Do you know what? It's been a lot of fun doing this session, not just today, but learning everything about it. So Windows 365 for Agents was only announced at Ignite last year with not much detail kind of following it. So I've spent a lot of time over the last couple of months really trying to dive my head into the agent world. And it's been a lot of fun. So my presentation was obviously on Windows 365 for Agents, and that's the new frontier, the new platform for your agents. So they can do their agency stuff in a nice, secure platform within Intune, within your trust boundaries, and not just on a random device in the corner of the office somewhere, and fully contained. And I think that's where the messaging of Microsoft is going to be in the next, not only the next 12 months, but the next 24, 36 months plus. It's going to be, I think, the next thing.
So for what kind of use cases should an agent use a Windows 365?
So the biggest use case is for legacy applications.
Mm-hmm.
Most big organizations, enterprise level organizations, have old applications with no APIs, no access to an MCP or anything like that. And it's to bridge the gap. It's the layer between the MCP and the agent. So it's to be able to query an agent to say, can you go to, for my demo, I've got Apex CRM XP. It's a CRM system that was created in 2000, but it's got all of my customer, all of my company data all within it. And I can use an agent to query anything within that CRM. And I can pull off reports, that can pull off any kind of information that I want and send it straight to a user.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem.
So that's the main use case.
Okay.
It's bridging the gap with legacy applications and applications that have got no APIs and no management into it, but also kind of connecting into applications that do have APIs as well. Mm-hmm. So being the real middleman and putting the agents to use to older applications.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So we can extend the complete AI, the LLMs that we are using internally, we can extend them with legacy stuff where information is residing. So we can use that within our AI platform that we're using company-wide. And because of Windows 365, we can do that securely. Is that correct?
That's correct. So it is the secure platform to be able to run these agents. So imagine anything that you can ask that a user can do on a computer. You can get the agent to do that. So if it's kill a process within Windows, or if it's just open a application, take screenshots, take snippets of information, you can get your agent to do that on the device. Opening any application with the power of Intune, obviously you can implement any application. You can deploy any application to these devices. Put your configuration policies down, your settings catalog, anything that you want that you would have on your normal desktop. It's the same for these cloud PCs as well.
So we can put in compliance policies. So a device needs to be compliant before it can be used by an AI agent, and so on and so on. So every piece of legacy software that we are using is still been within the boundaries of our company.
Yep.
And with that way, with Copilot, if we're using the LLM from Microsoft, it will still within my tenant boundary. So nothing is outside that.
That's the point, yeah. So it's not, as I said, sitting on a computer and someone's random computer with no policies on it or anything like that, and just running off doing open claw stuff. It's not, it's fully within your boundaries and protected.
Yeah. And if we combine both the message that you have, Joeri, regarding DevBox, that is in maintenance mode, with the upcoming AI agent, so also from a developer perspective, way easier to get your complete platform to build stuff, including your own legacy stuff that you can onboard that.
Sure, in one way. You have the two things. So you have the Windows 65 for developers, which builds further on the existing Windows 65 environment, which was already there for the typical developer stuff. But next to that, you have the agent stuff. But yeah, indeed, as they are running side by side, it's much easier. Everything is also running in the Azure data center, and as you already said, compliance, security, identity control, it's all there and all the same. That's a beautiful thing about it. There is no difference in the underlying platform. As John already said, now it was more or less the Far West a bit, where the execution was done on your local machine, on a virtual machine, in Azure, on another virtual machine, on AWS, on whatever platform. You didn't know where it ran. So from a governance, compliance point of view, with Windows 65 for agents, all compliant, all on the same platform. There is, even from a security point of view and compliance point of view, no difference between a human connecting to Windows 65 or an AI agent, because it's all treated as the same in a very secure way.
Really nice.
Yeah, really cool. And did you also had a look already to the AI-enabled Windows 365 cloud PCs?
Yeah, I have. I have one. I have one myself. I use it every day. For the AI-enabled stuff,
It's click to do. It's fun.
I don't think I've ever used any of the Copilot stuff in
Okay.
like I've used it once and I've gone, that's nice. But I must say the performance of the cloud PCs themselves is really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's anything to do with the AI-enabled stuff, but I've got the 8 CPU, 32 gig of RAM, and it's such a good device.
Yeah.
It is such a good device. So that's why I say when it comes to the AI, I think more stuff is coming from what I understand on the roadmap on the frontier side of things. But yeah, the performance is great.
Yeah, but I'm running like Peter has here on the desk. It's an ARM device with Copilot. All the stuff is in it. I have the same. So that kind of devices, will that be replaced in the near future by Windows 365 with AI enabled and that kind of stuff? So I can use a link device, for example, or a small device that I can that can travel with me, instead of that expensive device.
I think that's what Microsoft are hoping for. So that's the aim for Microsoft. And if we look at like prices of GPUs, RAM, etc. at the moment, hardware is expensive.
Yep.
I know a cloud PC can be expensive as well, but how are we able to refresh these devices? That's where Windows 365 Boot comes in. So I've got an old 8-year-old laptop at home, and I can go straight into my cloud PC, and suddenly it becomes supercharged, and it's a reusable device again.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I see some organisations going, because they don't really want to be spending the amounts of money on new hardware, and then using Windows 365 if it's AI enabled, or the lower spec ones, to become a refreshed device.
Yeah. I'm really curious on that, about how that is evolving.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. I think we all are. And I had this discussion with somebody else today, and it's always a wave movement, I say. So in a certain moment, when Microsoft came out with all the cloud services, I got the feeling that they were giving the message like, hey, it's time again to go, physical. Because, your endpoint does not need to be close to your backend, because everything is running in the cloud. So I thought, okay, I'm finished as a virtual desktop engineer. It's all going to be physical. Now I'm talking about 15 years ago. Yeah, then COVID came, so everybody first got a laptop because they were all going physical, and then they said, like, laptops are all sold out. How are we going to solve it? Let's move back to the cloud, to the virtual desktops. Oh, working fine. Cool. More flexibility. Where I am, I can connect also device agnostic. So that's also why Microsoft likes, I think, Windows 65. It doesn't matter what your client is. Of course, you like to have it Windows. But if you're running Mac or Linux or whatever, they can all connect to the
iPad.
same. Yeah, indeed. So now we are back in the virtual desktop, which is in a winning mood. But who says within a couple of years that will be different? That's difficult to predict. I really hope that we are there in the cloud forever.
But the one thing I think Microsoft have done really well in the past 12 months is the release of Windows 365 Reserve.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I think it's incredible. I think it really is incredible. It's something my organisation are rolling out to the whole consultancy. So we've got 180 consultants within our business. The license for each of them, I think after discounts, is just over £10 per user. Okay? So if you look at that, that's £10 per user per year.
That's cheap.
All we need to do, so for it to pay for itself, is just one of our consultants to break their laptop. But they can spin up a Windows 365 Reserve device, log on to a customer, be able to work with a customer again. And that could be on their own home PC. It could be on their phone. Connect to a monitor via USB-C, and they're working again in literally less than an hour. And for me, that Reserve, although a lot of people might start to buy it and use it as a DR purpose, but what it is doing is putting Windows 365 into the mind of these organisations, going, oh, that's our Reserve, that's our DR policy. But why don't we check out those cloud PCs? For our, for contractors or for everyone else, it's a really good way that Microsoft have gone. Let's get Windows 365 into the minds of people.
Yeah, exactly. And I see a lot of big companies working with a lot of externals, not handing out laptops anymore, but just the cloud PC, and let them access it from their own device. It's secure. It performs well. It's really good.
The first Windows 365 rollout, I think it was about 4 years ago that I had done. 4 years ago I done. That was over 200 people, contractors, and it's the perfect use case.
Yeah, and also I think the government in the Netherlands is helping the driving Windows 365 in my opinion, because you are not allowed to, if you are a contractor and you're hired, you're not allowed to use the devices of the company, but they want to do your work secure, and then they're giving out a VDI with AVD, Windows 365. A lot of companies that have contractors don't run AVD. So what's the easiest way? Put in a license of Windows 365, configure some policies in Intune, and then you have an extra device that's virtually, and you can give them to contractors so they can do their work, actually.
Yeah. True, and what I also see in the past, far too often a laptop was also given to external ones, but what you see, it's expensive. That's one of the things. It breaks. What happens with it? You never know what an external does with it. I still see that internals get a laptop, but that's part of their compensation. Like you have your wage, but you also get a laptop, which you can understand. And in a lot of cases, you can choose between a couple of laptops. But for external ones, you don't want to give them a laptop from a financial point of view, from a security point of view. So it all makes sense to let them work on a virtual machine.
Yep. Nice.
And exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really love Windows 365.
And with the upcoming AI stuff that is put into within the agents that can run within Windows, but also AI that is running into Windows 365 that we can use, I think a lot of opportunities are coming in there.
But what it's doing as well is bringing the desktop engineers and endpoint guys like ourselves into the AI conversation.
Yeah,
we could become the heroes in some instances by deploying cloud PCs to the agents and the AIP and become part of the conversation as well.
Yeah, and on the other hand, a bit of a different question, Joeri. You have deployed AVD, Citrix probably, other stuff as well. If you look nowadays with Windows 365, it's only putting in a few Intune policies and then you can running a Windows 365 machine like persistent, non-persistent. How is that for you from a technical perspective? Is there? It's not that much fun anymore that we have with the other solutions, or is that completely wrong?
Well, it depends what you define with fun. If you have set up a first environment, that's fun, a second one, but if you do a 10th one or a 20th one, that's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
So, and that's also what AI is all about. The repetitive tasks, the manual operational tasks, that's most of the time not fun. The fun part is thinking about how can I get the output depending on the input I give.
Yep.
From a general workstation point, that's more like the design, thinking about the design, how we can improve things, new technologies, think about that. But less about how we implement those things. So I'm in favor of having SaaS, IaaS, whatever, so that we do not have those, in my opinion, annoying repetitive tasks anymore.
And if you compare to that or added to that, if you look at the sessions that you guys have done here in the Workplace Ninja Belgium, but we see that also on the summit, on other conferences as well. What can we talk about Windows 365? It's 2 policies and then it's done. In the past, AVD and all the on-prem stuff with ADS, with Citrix, a lot of configuration, automation can be done, and so on and so on. So a lot of information that we can present to the audience and everyone can learn on that. With Windows 365 and all the SaaS solutions, it's get less and less. How's that?
Yeah. For me, it becomes less technical, but more storytelling, more personification.
Yep.
Why would you use enterprise? Why use Flex or Frontline? When there's feature parity now with like cloud apps within Windows 365 Flex as well. So there's lots to talk about. I mean, we've probably spent half an hour talking about Windows 365 already between the 4 of us.
That's true.
But it's just like there's lots to talk about. But it does become less about configuration because it's one provisioning policy. But then it becomes a story. How do we make sure that the investment to Windows 365 is realized within the organization? How can we make sure that all the right personas within the organization? Sometimes when we're talking about Windows 365, we need to be talking about using AVD at the same time. Because a lot of organizations, in fact, most organizations that I work with Windows 365 on are also using AVD at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree. But it's for some technical people, it's still a bit challenge.
But you're not getting level 400 sessions on Windows 365. No.
Maybe Rudy needs to look at it.
Then probably we can get a level of 5 on this or something like that. But
it shifts a bit. Some people like that, others not. If you like it or not, change is always there. Also from job content. Of course, it's not going away, the technical thing. So there's still much things on-prem, hybrid, whatever. But it's shifting. And you have to go with it, I would say.
Yeah, and with that, I think a lot is coming. So probably new topics will come up in the upcoming months or year, and then we'll probably see each other on another conference as well.
Would be nice.
Let's do that. Thank you for joining us and talk about Windows 365 and all the virtual stuff that we have. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if you're watching, this is not the last video of Workplace Ninja Belgium. We have one to go, so keep an eye on the socials. WP Ninjas BE is the hashtag and the social channel that we are using for Workplace Ninja Belgium. Have a look and you will see the upcoming video online in the upcoming days. And the last recording will be with the organizers team. So let's see what they have in the pocket to say. Thank you for joining. Until the next one.